Hello guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Andy, this is Aidan, and just underneath me there is Sean. We come to the end of another Super Sunday where we pretend to know about football. Strange for only one game to happen on Sunday, isn't it? Everton Forest. They normally have 2 or 3 games, but mental. Weird that they only had one game on. How you doing, boys? How's your weekend been, Aidan?
Mine's been bloody brilliant, mate. Yeah, it's been a nice weekend, nice relaxed bit of football. You know, a nice day today, seeing some scores that happened. What about you, mate? How you doing? How's your week been?
Week's been fine, mate. Yeah, I had a little trip out to IKEA today. Come back home. It's just I don't like it when United don't play at the weekends. It's doesn't give me anything to do. You know what I mean?
They absolutely did play, Andy.
Did you watch the game? They fucking didn't. How you doing, Sean? How you been, mate? How's your week?
Very good, mate. Very good. Popped into London this week for a training course. Popped into the Emirates. Got my new shirt. Lovely, lovely.
Nice.
Just in time for Gabriel Jesus's return to football. So
very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Very nice.
Lovely. We'll start off with something not quite as funny as Man United's defence. I'm going to give a little shout out as well. Let me just find the chap's name. It was Keaton Ali on TikTok sent us a message on the Pundits TikTok page, which is doing mighty well this weekend. If you want to head over there, I'm getting quite a lot of abuse right now. Yeah, he sent us in a thing saying, "Hi guys, recently discovered your page and your content. It always makes me laugh when I see you pop up because of the badge." Now, you've seen our badge around, the Pretend Pundits badge, which was crafted together by myself and Aidan one night when we was coming up with the concept for the channel. If you see Aidan chatting away now, he's chatting away to the TikTok live as well, just trying to get people in. And yeah, we crafted that together. We got the lion there because it was just the two of us to start. Aston Villa, the lion, the trident, the devil's pitchfork, whatever you want to call it, in the background for United. And he goes, "It always makes me laugh because my local team has the same badge as you. So let me bring us over to this. You can see on the screen now, there's 2 there, just for good measure. The one that we came up with ourselves, it's very B-Tech, but there you go. And here's the Crooktown AFC badge. Look at that! Established around about 130 years before the Pretend Pundits, but nonetheless, look at it. We didn't steal the badge, I promise we didn't.
But yeah, no, we definitely didn't.
But I'd never heard of Crooktown AFC. I think we're just going to have to adopt them as our team now.
Yeah, maybe we should get them as a sponsor. We'll get the manager on.
They won 3-1 at the weekend, so up the Crooktown, up in County Durham, I believe they are. So if anyone from Crooktown is watching, well played, great result. And we'll be keeping an eye on your fixtures in the future, I think.
Come on, Newtown.
That's it. That's it. Let's move on then straight away to the first topic of the day. Liverpool destroy Man United. I've posted up a review. Stefan Ward, welcome in, by the way. And Joe, I hope you don't give me too much of a hard time tonight, mate. I was left sort of speechless for a little while. I mean, I predicted a win. It's hard to not be confident as a United fan at the minute. Even now, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've seen the comments after the game. Did any of you even ever predict this coming? Man United's biggest defeat since 1931?
Not at all. I don't think it. No.
No, not to a Liverpool side who are so inconsistent and out of form this season. To get absolutely demolished, obliterated 7-0. No, mate, not a chance.
Yeah.
I thought you might have scraped a little 1-0, especially like the first 40 minutes. You looked pretty decent, and I thought you were going to snatch it, but then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. You all just fell apart.
Yeah.
Like, it was mental.
It's sort of, as a United fan myself, it's sort of a newfound thing where going 1-0 down in a game for United used to be a case of, oh, well, that's that done then. But now it's a case of when you go 1-0 down, no matter what time of the game it is, as a United fan under Ten Hag and the way we're playing, you just think, no, it's okay. We're 1-0 down. At half-time, you think we could do something. It goes to 2-0 very, very quickly when the second half kicks off, and then 3-0 another 6 minutes later. And you just, at 3-0, the players lost their heads. I think we let ourselves down in the first half. I have to say there was chances either end. But the service into the box is so poor. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Why are you putting a 6'6" striker in the box and you getting disgustingly poor crosses from Anthony? There was one good ball from Shaw to Rashford, but that was it. Just the crosses were just outrageous. It was an embarrassing performance, not only in my words, but in the words of Erik ten Hag as well.
Yeah.
There was just players were missing. I don't think you can put it on any individual at all. I think Liverpool had a plan, counter-attacking. They knew what they was doing. There was some comical defending along the way, but I think altogether on the whole, to be honest, I can't single a person out. I'd say Fred had a very, very bad game. But this is Fred. He'll have a 9 out of 10 one week and then a 3 the next. It's just what happens with Fred. And until we get someone in the midfield that can put in consistent 7s and 8s every week, we're always going to struggle.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, certainly inconsistent. It was a tough watch, even from outside being a United fan. It was still a tough watch. Sean disagrees. He loved it.
Loved
But-
it.
I was going to say the grin was hurting your
Fucking
cheeks, probably.
Yeah.
That was probably the
It
toughest
was
part about it.
honestly fucking hell. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did almost break down laughing at the end, but fucking hell, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
That's a stat and a half from Joe. Haven't won at Anfield since 2016. I think the aggregate score at Anfield is just ridiculous. Isn't it something like 34-1 now over the last
10 games, it's 29-2.
29-2? Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
it's not a good record. It's not a good record at all for Anfield. I think the only saving grace is that we are clear of them at the minute. At this stage, at the end of last season, we finished 34 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
And now we're, 7 points behind them, I think it is. So, 7 points in front of them, sorry.
Yeah, 7 points.
And Liverpool have gone under the radar. We laugh at them getting thumped by Madrid and drawing to Palace, but they've gone under the radar. They've got a game in hand on Tottenham. They can slip into fourth. They've overtaken Newcastle. They've sort of come up,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but they've done it. They're getting the results.
Yeah, they've just slowly crept their way back in, haven't they?
It's,
To be fair to them.
yeah, just to think a few weeks ago they were down with Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think they were 9th and 10th respectively. Yeah, so
Yeah.
absolutely. What did you make of the game, Sean?
I've got some really good stats for you, but I thought
No.
I thought that they were
Good stats
just
for me?
No, absolutely not. You guys don't have good stats. Yeah, I thought the midfield for Liverpool. I thought that was going to be the problem. Casemiro would dominate in that midfield, but you can't blame Maguire. You conceding 7 goals. You got world class Varane in centre back. Martinez looked a little bit out of his depth. Salah sent him for a hot dog. Dallo even looked poor.
Yeah.
It was a scary game for you guys, and I said last week on Sunday that I think that Gakpo is going to play down the centre. He played down the centre. He was phenomenal today.
Yeah.
He was kind of interlinking with Nunes, but that first goal just to curve it into the bottom corner was, yeah.
He was slithering all over
outstanding.
like the snake he is. Yeah, I think they said that's a bit of a new thing they've got going with Nunes going out on the left, Gakpo through the middle. Yeah, they were absolutely deadly today. They did exactly the job they needed to do. It was an exhausting watch. Ben and Tom's welcome in had to turn off at 4-0, like watching your grandparents at it. worse. Hi, Tom's welcome in, mate. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if there's any positives to take away from that for United at all. Normally, a heavy defeat, you think, I don't know, like we had defeats last season where we got smashed in the first half and then we saw the second half out, but no positives at all. As I said, after the game, Ten Hag came out and said how unprofessional the players were. I think Bruno, they were saying that Bruno should have come off. They took off Luke Shaw at the risk of him getting carded potentially or sent off. But Ten Hag left Bruno on the pitch. And I think that could very well have been on purpose. I think that could have been, you're the captain of this team, you're leading it, you stay out until the end, and you reap what you sow.
Yeah, you fucking deal with it, basically.
It's like the captain of the ship, isn't it? He always goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kicking off, wasn't he? About not being subbed.
Yeah, he
He was
did.
throwing a bit of a hissy fit.
Rashford, Elanga came on for Rashford, I
Rashford.
believe, and then, he was indicating, like, get me the fuck off this pitch. And it's like, no, deal with it.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason you want to be the captain of the club, mate. Fucking hell.
One positive thing,
Well,
Andy, you made my night, says Joe. Hey, Joe, if I've made your night, mate, then that's all I can ask for. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep, but I hope you enjoy that. Harry Hathaway, welcome in. Hi, guys. Hi, Harry. Welcome. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. We hit 100 today, so let's celebrate that little milestone. Well done.
Lovely.
Yeah, hopefully we can celebrate another 100 soon.
Let me hit you with these stats then, and I'll leave it on a kind of positive here.
Let's end this segment on some stats that I don't want to hear.
So, at Anfield since the 17-18 season, Salah has received more yellow cards for taking off his shirt and celebrating against Man United than Man United have scored against Liverpool. It's 2 for taking your shirt off, and you guys have scored 1 goal since then.
Oh, wow.
The XG in today's game, Liverpool had 2.91 and Man United had a 0.92, so they weren't clear-cut chances. That Firmino goal, I thought that was amazing. That control, that swivel, and then goal. But that was definitely not.
It could have been 10. I'm sorry, it could have been 10. That
could have been.
There was a Kanate header that was just launched past everyone. It was horrible.
I wanted it to be 10, Andy. I really did. And then I'll leave you on a kind of high, which Man United conceded the same number of goals in 90 minutes as Chelsea have scored since November the 6th.
I'll take that.
Oh, wow.
So we can laugh at Chelsea, whilst also laughing at United.
I love to laugh at Chelsea, and Fred has scored 1 less goal than Chelsea since November 2022 as well, so that's always nice.
Oh, wow.
What the hell?
Honestly, where do goals come from apart from Rashford? Well, against Barcelona, Anthony scored a nice finish. Garnacho runs at players. Sancho, when he's about, obviously he's injured at the minute, but no, you're not wrong. Definitely need to get some more goal scorers in the team. I'm certainly not panicking, though. I mean, in our last 20 games in all comps, we've lost 2. 1 to Arsenal, 1 to Liverpool. So Arsenal potential Premier League winners, and Liverpool at Anfield is just anything can happen, right? So certainly not worried at all. When you look at our games to come up as well, we've got a home leg against Betis on Thursday, home to Southampton next weekend, and then away to Betis before the FA Cup, home to Fulham. So it's not a bad little run. I think there's going to be some serious words. They're not getting any days off this week. There's going to be a lot on the training ground. Hopefully the pain doesn't last into the rest of the week as well. So, yeah, absolutely right. Premier League review then. Get me away from this game. As you can see, pictured there is Arsenal's boy of the weekend, Reece Nelson.
Yeah, man.
Was it 11 seconds, the Bournemouth goal? 9 seconds?
9 points.
And what's that, the second quickest goal?
Yeah, I think the fastest is it Shane Long's goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Shane Long, yeah.
They started off, they were incredible. They had 3 players inside our half as the kickoff went, so maybe if VAR was going to do its job properly, maybe it could pull it back and do us a favour. But I said it last week, I said it the week before, I think Billing for Bournemouth, he's a phenomenal player. I don't know why enough people aren't speaking about him, but he finished that shot off with ease, just ghosted through our whole defence. And at 2-0 down, I'm watching in Weatherspoons going, fuck, what's happening? And I've got all my friends going, I'm going to tune into the Pundits on Sunday. Well, I hope you're fucking here now.
Yeah, you better be here. And if you are here, you better be hitting that like button as well. Pressure was on them, I think, from the beginning because you had the early kickoff. Obviously, Man City getting a win against Newcastle. I think what they said as well is because Newcastle, that was their first game since the Carabao Cup defeat. There's a bit of a stat. I didn't get the chance to write it down, but performance after losing the Carabao Cup final tends to drop off for teams. So, well, if losing the Carabao Cup drops your form off, what about winning the bastard thing? So, yeah, Newcastle are in serious danger of sacrificing their European spot if they don't soon book up. I mean, Man City was always going to be a tough game to come back to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal, honestly, I thought there was not a chance in hell that Arsenal get 3 points. I thought maybe 2. But yeah, unbelievable. 97th minute strike, Reece Nelson. What a finish it was as well.
It's a great finish as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people moaning about the extra time that we had because there was 6 minutes of extra time, but that's a minimum of 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And at the very beginning of the extra time, one of the players, I forget what he was called, but he's gone down. Neto was wasting time. They counted the amount of time, and it's a minute and a half. So yeah, why not? Let's have 7 minutes. Finally, something's being calculated properly. How many times have you had? I mean, like you boys today, you had 3 minutes of extra time, but you spent 10 minutes picking it out of your net. So there should have been way more extra time for you boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, finally something is probably got a little bit of a favour there from the rest.
That was a cheap
VAR.
shot. It hurt me. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think they're looking at reviewing how the added time is done as well, because we need to find a balance. I think it's done quite well at the minute. If there's added time and they're wasting it, then by all means add it on. I've got no problem with that. I mean, I don't want to see Qatar, bloody 18 minutes of added time every half. But yeah, by all means, if there's time wasted, then get it sorted out. Yeah. Ben Ray, I don't know whether that was a misspell on purpose, but he said, as predicted, Andy, Weghorst is banging them in left, right and centre. I think Weghorst is probably a good nickname for him. But our nickname for him is currently Arthritis Haaland, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Since Emery came in at Aston Villa, we've scored in every game. Is that true?
Wow.
Is it?
I don't know. You support Villa. I don't fucking support the shit.
Fucking hell. Well, hey, you can't say you've been Dick 7-0. You're in no place to call anyone shit today.
I'll take what I can get, okay? That's a fantastic stat if that's true. Is that true?
Yeah.
Harry,
when did it come in?
His first game was against United in the league when you beat us 4-2.
Oh, we beat 4-2, yeah. I think we have,
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Unai.
Something that used to really irritate me about Unai Emery is that he had 5 captains at Arsenal, and he was always going on about these 5 captains. Does he do that at Villa?
No, we've got.
Learned his lesson.
Yeah, we've just got John McGinn and Emi Martinez. That's it.
Okay.
I know he doesn't say good evening anymore, and that really annoys me.
He's learned from his mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean, come on! If that goes against you, you're crying, man. I mean,
I would be. You're right. I would be.
Yeah, I think you're right, but there isn't a thing at the minute, is there? There's not like there used to be the general 30 seconds of substitution sort of rule, but no, it just I love to see it personally. If it goes against you, of course, you're absolutely seething. But
yeah, you're fuming.
If it was United, it'd be Fergie time, But you've got to make up for it. I mean, time wasting, they're going to be more harsh on it. I'd like to see more people getting booked for it. What I would like to see more people getting booked for actually is diving. Like, you don't see people get booked for diving too much anymore.
No, you're right.
But hey-ho. Well, enough about referees. We've moaned about them enough already. Other results from the weekend then? Anything of note? I mean, let's have a quick look. Brighton smashing up West Ham. That looked a good game.
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was, to be fair.
While we're on the subject of Aston Villa, this is a very strange compliment, but whoever the groundsman is at Aston Villa, that pitch looked mint. It looked so good. I was flicking through the highlights and I was looking at the pitch and I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, that is a nice looking pitch. That was the most exciting thing about the game.
Shame it's in Birmingham.
What is happening here? No, yeah. I mean, nice little 3 points for us, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it. Fucking chasing Chelsea now.
That own goal from Anderson was comical, I have to say.
I saw the highlight. Oh my God, what was he doing? I think he swung for it with one foot and it hit his ankle and went in, then he fell over. I was like, what's just happened?
It hit the ankle of his trailing foot somehow. It was almost harder to score than clear it. It was crazy.
I saw it go in and I was like, how the hell has that just happened? It doesn't make sense. But I mean, I was taking it.
Yeah.
And we got lucky, to be fair, because obviously Zaha's goal ruled offside must have been by not a lot. Like, his
No.
toes, maybe.
Yeah, it was real fine, wasn't it?
But
You know, last week you said every in a heartbeat that you would take Zaha. Seeing him again against you, knowing
Yeah.
that he's 30, would you still take him?
yeah, I'd still take him. Yeah, I'd still take him. He can do bits, can't he, still?
Yeah,
Didn't he have one
he,
ruled
he
out
can
as
do
well in that
bits.
game?
he did.
That
Yeah,
was it. That was the first, in 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
First 4 minutes he scored. But he was like a couple of inches offside.
To be honest, I'd take Elise over Zaha if I was picking someone from Palace.
Oh yeah, if I had to pick someone from Palace, or is it Eze?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eze looks good.
Yeah, he looks class.
Strangely enough, United getting beaten 7-0 wasn't the biggest upset of the weekend. Chelsea won a game. Chelsea
I
won
know.
and got a clean sheet.
Yeah, mental. But then it is against fucking Leeds scum, innit? So you can't
Relegation,
really get too excited.
relegation battle. Yeah, I mean they scored a goal, which is in itself good, but yeah, to win the game
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything in the
Fucking-
grand scheme of things. Tottenham being Tottenham and losing 1-0, still managerless.
bottling it. Fucking bottling it.
Uh,
Managerless.
Yeah, is he still off, Conte?
Yeah. What was it? Was it a heart operation or something?
I believe it was. He had kidney stones removed.
Ah, well, he's still out for that.
Aidan
I was
thought
watching
Conte
the
had been sacked for a
highlights.
minute.
So no, I was watching the highlights today and I thought, where the fuck's Conte? I was like, who's this chap?
Yeah, he had.
I was like, what's going
I
on?
could be wrong, but I think it was kidney stones he had removed, so he's recovering in Italy.
Oh. He's probably having fucking heart problems managing fucking Tottenham. That's what it is.
He don't want to come back.
Okay, I don't blame him. I'd be sat there on the sick. I would. I'd like, give me an extra couple of months sick note.
I can't
I'm
remember.
like, I can't go back there.
Can't remember if it was last week you pointed out he got nominated for Manager of the Month for February, even though he was only in
did,
charge of one game, and that was when they got slaughtered by Leicester 4-1. Leicester, who lost to Southampton this weekend, let it be told. Yeah, Brighton, I think the highlights from Saturday for me, Arsenal obviously was amazing, but I didn't like to see it. Brighton beating West Ham 4-0, I think that's a real statement for West Ham. They're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Harry says, do you think Brighton have got a chance of winning the FA Cup? Now, it's funny you say that. I'll have to find it. In one of our previous episodes, I said Brighton have got an outside chance of winning the FA Cup when we was talking about European football qualification. It's their best chance than ever. We'll get onto the FA Cup in a minute and we'll talk about the draw because it's the quarterfinals now and there's a lot of upsets, some big teams gone. Let's have a quick look at the Prem table then. Yeah, so Bournemouth at the bottom still. It's very, very close now still. We said it was going to be exciting at the bottom of the table. Bournemouth sitting bottom, Southampton level on points, Everton 22. Everton, I think, will be gutted after today's game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a massive missed opportunity for them. I did catch some of the game. I tuned in at 2-1. And yeah, I think Sean Dyche and Everton will be terribly disappointed they didn't seize their opportunity to climb out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson, though, for Nottingham Forest, what a player. Some amazing finishes. He was the only good-looking player when we played them in the Carabao Cup, doing wonders for them. Nottingham Forest sitting in 14th, but by all means not safe. Further up the table in the top half, Aidan, how are you feeling about Aston Villa's position now? They're 11th, but look at it. I mean, 34 points, level with Chelsea.
Literally, from the start of the season, obviously, when Gerald was here, to where we are now, mate, couldn't be happier, to be honest. Same points as Chelsea. What are we? Where is it? We are 5 points away from 7th.
So,
which is massive for us.
When we spoke about the unexpected trio of three that was up there, and you Fulham, Brighton and Brentford, saying have they got an outside chance of Europe, I think now that it's fair to say that Aston Villa are in with an outside chance.
Yeah, man. And it's nice as well because we're now, 7 points clear of 12th as well. So I think we can, I didn't really, since Unai came in, I've not really been worried about relegation, but I think that certainly seals seals our safety, to be fair.
And a good
I've got
upturn
nothing
in
to worry
form
about.
since them 3 defeats in a row, 2 wins back to back now.
Yeah, man.
Brentford, if they slip off Brighton, you could just climb up there. Chelsea continue their poor form.
Yeah.
Why not? Villa in
That's
Europe,
really-
Away nights in Moldova.
Oh, mate, don't. Oh, you'll see me in Moldova, mate. You'll see me in fucking Ukraine if I have to. I'll go everywhere. I'm not bothered, mate. Fucking get me on that plane.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Why not? I mean, depends on who wins the FA Cup and stuff, where the qualification goes, but I think you're looking at a 7th place finish for Europe.
Yeah.
Sean,
I'll take it.
are you finally going to admit that you think you're going to win the title yet? Are we going to get you to say it?
Not this week. there's only 5 points in it, and there's 12 games to go. There's a lot of points.
Yeah.
36 points to be had between now and the end of the season. So I think there's too much opportunity to have egg on my face and have you guys clip it and play it forevermore. So not this week, lads.
Yeah, I mean, I've got egg on my face this week, so I need to pass it over to someone else. Would it be fair to say now it's completely and utterly a 2-horse race for the title?
Bar an absolute capitulation, yes, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only hope we have of finishing, I'd say, even second would be goal difference, which is just poor compared to you two. But I'm hats in the ring now. I'm not saying this to get Man United down, but I just think if we do well in the Europa League, which I expect we will, and go far in the FA Cup, we're going to have a lot of games. So even if we're knocked out of the others, we're still in them. We've still got 3 extra fixtures compared to a lot of other people. I think we're nowhere near strong enough. Nowhere near strong enough. And today is even a worry that we might even lose third. I thought it was nailed on last week.
I don't think you'll lose third. I think there's enough of a gap between yourselves. Tottenham will play the game more than you guys as well. But if Liverpool continue this run of form, why not?
Liverpool have got it in them as well. That's the scary thing. Liverpool, that might give them massive, massive confidence today. They've got it in them to go and absolutely fly.
Yeah, that's the thing with Liverpool. They can just switch it on, mate, and they can just win every game now at the end of the season, just out of nowhere. Be shit all season, then just turn it on. They found how their forward 3 plays, Gakpo through the middle, Darwin on the left, Salah on the right. All of a sudden, Klopp sat there going, why have I not been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
Like, it's worked. Let's carry on doing that. And then all of a sudden, they're just trouncing everyone.
The midfield may well undo them at some stage, but yeah, by all means, they're in with a shout, I'd say, if anyone.
Yeah. But like defensively, with their midfield, we say the legs are old and everything. But when I was watching them today, you'd see Salah, Gakpo, Darwin, all in their own half, back in the edge of the 18-yard box, defending their arses off.
If you can get away with it, just skip the midfield. That's what they were doing well. There was one point where there was 2 through on goal. One was Andy Robertson and the other was Trent.
Yeah.
Both the fullbacks were furthest up the pitch. Just embarrassing. Horrible.
They just looked hungry for it. A completely different hunger to what Man United turned up with today. So whether Klopp's been at them all week and saying this is pride, this is power, I don't know what he's done, but clearly Man United haven't done the same. And instead, Bruno went and had a little cry with the linesman. So
yeah. There's a lot of lucky players from that game today, I have to say, getting away 100%. With cards. But
with his rat claws.
Yeah, I think it could be a whole number of things. I think the result itself, there's nothing to take away from the result. I think it's from the next 3 fixtures, maybe 4 fixtures if you include the FA Cup. See what comes out of that. And go from there. One of them games then, FA Cup, we'll have a quick talk about that. Grimsby Town beating Southampton to go through to the quarterfinals. Massive, massive, up the Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
What did you think to the FA Cup draw?
Do you know what? I've not even seen it. Surely I have to do this when I research, mate.
Yeah. So the Grimsby game was it was quite embarrassing for Southampton, really. They bullied them from start to finish. It was 2-1. I think it was 2-1, and then Walcott scored at the very end to roll back the years, only to have it ruled off for offside.
The young talent, yeah.
Yeah, it was embarrassing for Southampton, to be honest. And I said it a few weeks in a row. I still maintain they've got a good side. They're just not clicking. Something's not right, and I don't know what that is.
I mean, 2 penalties, but if you earn the penalties, you earn them. I think,
Yeah.
they'll be very, very disappointed with that. So just to read out the draw then, the teams left in it are crazy, honestly. I think I said very, very early on into the Pundits when we was talking about the FA Cup, was that you don't tend to see it happen very often these days, where you get to a quarter-final stage of the Carabao or the FA Cup, and it's always normally Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Sometimes there's one thrown in the mix, like a Sheffield United or a Blackburn. But no, it's normally always dominant. But you have a look how it's been this year. It's been so different in both competitions.
Yeah.
So you've got the Vincent Kompany derby, as I like to call it, Man City versus Burnley. Man United versus Fulham, which I think is probably the second hardest team we could have got other than Man City. Maybe Brighton. Brighton, Grimsby,
Brighton as well.
Sheffield United, Blackburn. So you've got one of Sheffield United or Blackburn in a semi-final. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you think progresses through them then? Man City, Burnley. Let's have a quick chat about that one first of all. Easy for Man City?
Yeah.
I tell you, no. You fucking these cup games, mate. You can't write them off. You cannot write them off. And look at Burnley's form, mate. Company is doing wonders with Burnley.
He's only lost twice, hasn't he, in the Championship?
Yeah. Like they are miles ahead. Like they're pretty much all practically promoted already. I'd still say Man City are going to win.
Yeah, I think so.
But I wouldn't say it's going to be a completely dominant performance. I can't see Pep putting like a full starting 11 out. I think he will rest a few players, obviously, because he wants to chase for this title, and he's going to focus on the Champions League.
The Championship is a bit of a different animal, though. I mean, we knocked Burnley out of the Carabao Cup this year, and I was a little bit worried about them, just purely based on what you said, their Championship form, how well they were doing. They'd almost pissed the league before we played them back then.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a worry, but you could say the same about Sheffield United. They're second in the Championship, also doing very, very well compared to the others.
Yeah.
But Man City will be changing their team up. I think, like you say, Champions League will be a focus. That might come back to bite them in the arse, because Man City, when they change their team around,
it doesn't work.
It never always works for them. They've got the depth, but it does seem to play with them a bit.
Yeah, you got to think Company knows exactly how Pep plays as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's gonna be sat there thinking, I know exactly what you're gonna be fucking doing this game. So he's gonna try his best to like counter what he's doing, basically.
Absolutely. Joe saying that Fulham progressed no problem. I'll tell you what, we only just scraped a win against them. I think we're lucky that we've got a home draw on that one. I have to say, I think that was a 10th home draw in a row for United in cups.
He is trying his hardest to get a nibble out of you,
Yeah.
He's a little shit.
It's not working. Who does Joe support?
Same as me, Villa. We're both Villa.
Well, I could be going to bed an Aston Villa fan tonight, so it could be worse. United at home to Fulham. Then I think Garnacho scored a very late winner against them in the league. So hopefully the same again. Honest prediction, no baity prediction. Do you think Man United will get through that, or do you think it'll be harder than I think?
I think that might push you to a replay, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think they do replays, do they?
In the FA Cup?
Oh, it's quarters though, isn't it? They don't do the quarters.
They didn't in the last round either.
Yeah.
When we played West Ham, they said
straight to penalties now, isn't it?
Extra time penalties.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, I don't think there's extra time. I think the extra time's only in the final now.
It's Carabao Cup where they only do penalties.
Got it.
But in the FA Cup, I think they eliminated replays after the 4th round.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a close one between you two.
5-0 Fulham win.
Hey.
It won't be a draw then. 5-0.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's going to be a tight one. Fulham are to push every team this season, which pisses me off because they shouldn't be where they are in the league.
I think it's.
Like, it's just mental, but
It could be very dependent because it's due to be played on the Sunday. We do play away in Betis on the Thursday. So if we can get a good result this coming up Thursday, sort of try and kill the game off so we're not battling on a Thursday, we'll be fresh and fit, ready for the Cup. But Ten Hag's made it clear he wants to compete on all four fronts. The leagues obviously are gone now, but a couple of cups would be absolutely nice.
Man.
Harry Hathaway, Blackburn versus Sheffield United would be a good game as Blackburn beat them yesterday. That's happened a lot this season as well. When you play in a team in the cup, you play them in the league at the same time. I do like when that happens because it always just adds a bit more to the game. So yeah, good shout, Harry. I think that'll be a good one to keep on. I'm a Villa fan too. Bloody hell, we are outnumbered.
They're all in. I'm bringing them all in force.
They're all in.
They would have loved it last week, wouldn't they? Was it last week that we played you boys?
No, week before.
Was it the week before? They would have loved it.
Don't fucking talk about that week. We don't talk about that week.
Joe saying, is Mitro fit? That's a good question. According to
I've not heard of. I've not heard of anything of him.
He's played last. He got an assist against Leeds.
When was that?
In the FA Cup last round. He didn't play this weekend then, no.
I've not really heard of him scoring many goals or anything recently. I know he started well.
The reason he hasn't played this weekend is because there's Brentford Fulham tomorrow. Whatever happened to Monday Night Football? Monday Night Football used to be semi-decent games, right?
Yeah.
Box office, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
I think what they tend to focus on Monday Night Football now is the analysis side of the weekend because they have an extended bit where they have normally Gary Neville and Carragher or Micah Richards or someone analysing. There'll be a lot about the Man United game yet again because we need to dissect that game more, don't we? I certainly won't be watching.
I'll record it for you, mate.
I've heard enough. Sky Plus it for me, Sean. Thank you very much, mate. If he is, I think you give Martinez some issues sending off in that game. I don't know. I think, annoyingly, Andreas Pereira's done very well since going there.
Yeah, he has.
He has. He's done fucking class.
He's like pre-season Perlo, he was known as at United, because he'd score absolute thunder bastards and then disappear when the actual games came. Who else have they got playing well for them at the minute?
Leno.
What's his name? Polina?
Yeah.
Scored that absolute worldie against Leeds in the last round.
Mate. Yeah, he's a decent player, he is.
Second best CDM in the Prem after Casemiro. Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, I can't say that this weekend, really, can I?
No.
He did have a bad game today. I don't think we spoke about that enough. Not that I want to, but Casemiro did have a very poor game today, which is
he scored, didn't he? But he was miles offside.
Yeah, that happened against West Ham the other day as well. Exactly the same type of free kick. Casemiro always getting to the ball. Willian is doing well. That's crazy. Solomon's scoring goals as well.
Is Solomon the Israeli lad?
It is. Yeah.
He looks really sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, be a good game for sure. Marco Silva probably doing better than expected, but
a lot better than expected.
He's no Scott Parker at Club Brugge, is he? Wait.
Scott Parker, strange thing about Scott Parker, he would always wear the same jumper. I don't know if you remember, with the grey with the white stripes down the side of it. And they were £900 cardigans from this place. And he said that if he ever lost the game, he'd go out and buy another cardigan. So not even the same fucking cardigan.
What's better, the Scott Parker cardigan or the Gareth Southgate waistcoat?
It's got to be. Tony Pulis used to do the same with trainers, didn't he? We used to get the whitest white trainers.
The high techs.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm a sucker for Scott Parker's cardigan, and he's a handsome devil too. So I'll have to go with the cardigan.
He's a proper Chelsea boy, isn't
he? Yeah, loves a cardigan.
Yeah.
And then Brighton Grimsby. It should be easy for Brighton, home draw. Do you think? The magic of the cup I know exists, but I think Grimsby might be pushing their luck a bit now.
I've got to say Brighton, haven't you? But then that's what I mean. You never fucking know. You just said Southampton against Grimsby, right? It's got to be Southampton. I know they're
True.
doing shit, but you'd go Southampton to beat Grimsby, wouldn't you? So you never know.
I hope they're
What
not
division
all on
is it?
simultaneously. They all sound like brilliant games. Maybe Sheffield United, Blackburn, I might give a miss, but I'd love to watch the others if they're all available to watch. It'll be a great little
Yeah.
weekend, that will.
What division are Grimsby in? Are they League One?
League Two.
Or League Two, are they?
League Two. It was crazy when
What?
they was doing the
League
draw
Two?
because they have the teams and they have the leagues next to them, and it was Prem Championship, Prem Championship, Prem Championship, League Two.
I thought,
Wow.
I thought Grimsby were in non-league.
No, League Two.
Uh,
Harry Hathaway, who do you guys think is going down? Well, in one of our earlier videos, we predicted. We can have a quick look at that now. Actually, have you changed your thoughts from that, Aidan? I think I said Bournemouth, Southampton, and Wolves.
Yeah, who did I say? I said Bournemouth, Southampton, Everton, didn't I?
Yeah, I think Wolves have saved themselves. So for me, I still think Bournemouth, Southampton. I'd say probably Leeds instead of Wolves now, but
I'm stuck between Everton and Leeds. I feel like it's going to be Everton. They've flipped that game around. If Leeds get a win now with that game in hand, mate.
I have to say, I think Everton have
Three
been
points in
unlucky.
last
Like
game.
today, they was unlucky. They did beat Arsenal as well in the first game back. QH88, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, mate. Much appreciated. Leeds, I don't think Leeds have got a good run in them at all. I think, surely, what do you think, Sean? Who's going to get relegated?
So my best is Bournemouth, Leeds, and West Ham.
West Ham.
I think West Ham.
What, do you still think West Ham?
I do, yeah. I think David Moyes is what was West Ham on? They're on 23.
Yeah,
it's not impossible. David Moyes is a nice guy, David Moyes, but something isn't clicking. They spend so much money in the summer, and for that amount of money to be spent, they got rid of David Moyes once before, and I think they realised that it was a bit premature. But now, I think he's dragging them down. I think nobody's talking about sacking David Moyes, which I find a bit weird considering how much money they've spent. So my money's on West Ham, Leeds, and Bournemouth. I still think Southampton can do it. Got a bit of a soft spot for them. Got some family and friends that support them. They just need to pull the finger out. But 2 wins and they're out of relegation zone.
Yeah, to be fair, saying that, like when you watch the highlights today, I watched the highlights of the West Ham game, and David Moyes just looked absolutely defeated. Like he looked like he was out of ideas. Like he didn't know what to do. Like every time a goal would go in, they'd pan the camera straight to David Moyes, and he just sat there like a broken man.
Yeah,
that's his resting face, though, isn't it? Looking like a broken man.
Yeah, it's just like fucking hell. This poor bastard. Like he knows he's in the shit, but
I think you're right there, Sean. Not a lot of people are talking about the sacking of Moyes. To be fair, last week the bookies had Graham Potter as favourite to be sacked next.
Yeah.
But that's very quickly switched to David Moyes after this weekend. So something I want to touch upon. I think we had a conversation between ourselves during the week, but Graham Potter's manners and the way he acts in press conferences is like he knows he can't be sacked. I think there might be something a little bit more going on there with Potter. I think he knows he's got job security because when you're in that sort of form, your team's not scoring goals, you're basically a laughing stock of the Premier League.
yeah.
And you're coming into what did he say previously about there's a lot of journalists in here, and they said, not as many as in your dressing room. Like, just making jokes, and I'm all for bringing the morale up, but no, you're doing shit. Put your business face on. Stop joking around and acting like David Brent. You're not that guy. You need to be serious, don't you? Honestly.
Yeah. Sorry, as soon as you said David Brent, that fucking did me over. I just pictured him acting like David Brent.
That's exactly what he's been doing. It's so weird, but I think somehow, even though we've said to ourselves, how is Graham Potter still in the job? He's going to be.
The suavest PE teacher out there.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Nathan Jones is gone, and now it's Potter. Crazy Paulina, no way Hammers will go down. I think it's not a case of who's going to be the worst. Like, who's going to get relegated? I think it's more of a conversation of who's going to be good enough to stay up. And I think it's crazy that you said, Sean, that Bournemouth looked like they didn't know how to play football against City, and then they put up a good fight against you. You look at Southampton as well. They don't look like they've got much about them, but then against Leicester, they played really well this weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of them have got a consistent run in them.
I think that's half their problem down there, though, and it's just none of them are consistent.
So that
None of the teams down there have got any form of consistency at all.
So that could push it all the way to the last. Just imagine how amazing that would be. Not if you're a fan of any of them teams, but the last day of the season scrap for survival, where it like changes up and down like 3 or 4 different times. I'd love to see it. Like, you'd have your fucking stomach in your ass if you're an Everton, Southampton, or Bournemouth fan. But I want to see it.
I know how they feel. The first year we came back up with Villa, my God, we was in that dogfight to the last game of the season, and we had to beat West Ham to stay up. I think Jack Grealish scored in like the 88th minute. Fucking, I lost my shit. So yeah, I know how all them fans are gonna be feeling on the last day if it goes that way.
Was that the season that you cheated Sheffield United?
Yes, it was. Oh, what? Goal line technology turned off at Villa Park? Oh, what an accident.
They haven't discovered electricity in Birmingham yet. Maybe that's that.
Yeah.
They fucking haven't, trust me.
Running water next week.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly.
So all that being said, I don't know how we got here, but who do you think is going to win the FA Cup?
City.
Oh.
And that's a bittersweet one for Arsenal fans, because if we got knocked out by City, so to be beaten by the best, you're okay with that.
No, you're not going to have that one yet.
Yeah. Who knocked us out? I can't remember who knocked us out. Someone shit, I think.
It was Stevenage.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, fucking embarrassing. Don't want to talk about the FA Cup. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to back an outsider, but I don't know.
Are Liverpool still in it?
No. They've only got one trophy this season, and that's the We Beat Man United 7-0 trophy. Jurgen Klopp's polishing it as we speak. I'd love to see an outsider win it. Like Harry said, I'd love to see Brighton or someone win it if United can't. But we'll see. We'll see what comes. A Man City United final would be delicious. I'd take that.
I think that's what it's going to be. I can see it being the United City final,
but the positive thing is for anyone who gets through this round, both the semi-finals are at Wembley as well, so there's going to be no home advantage there. But yeah, we'll see. Lastly, then, a little announcement. That's the end of tonight's episode. The announcement is, if you were watching last week, you may remember we said we were starting a new series on YouTube. Due to some technical difficulties, we couldn't get that episode out this week, but we are going to get the first episode out this coming week on Wednesday. It's a combined 11 series, so starting off with that all-time Premier League 11. That will be up on the channel on Wednesday. So if you want to be notified when that video does go live, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. It's absolutely free to do so. Turn your notifications on. You'll get a ping straight to your phone or laptop when that goes live. TikToks, yeah, we've been filming some more TikTok content, some fun and games. So if you've not followed us on TikTok already, go and follow us on there. You'll be able to play along with the games. We do, guess the player, think of a player when the shirt comes up, all different sorts of fun things you can get involved with over there if you like that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's about it from me. Aidan, have you got any ending thoughts for tonight?
No, just basically do what Andy said. Go do it. Go subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you all hit the likes. Go check out all our socials. They're in the link in the description, or the links are in the description, sorry. And I think that's about it. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for bed after today. It's been exhausting. Sean, do you want to leave us with any thoughts, mate, before we head out?
I'll give you one final thought before we go. Yesterday, Arsenal named starting 11 without a single player to have ever made a competitive appearance under Arsene Wenger for the first time since the 22nd of January 1986. And that was against Aston Villa, and that was in the League Cup. Isn't that amazing?
Holy shit, that's mental.
That's pretty mental. Gordon
That is a mental
Brown
start.
let me down in the comments. Oh dear. I'm sorry that Gordon Brown let you down. Hopefully he hasn't done that in a while. I know the reference. It's a friend of mine. Gordon Brown did.
Okay.
Gordon Brown did indeed let me down. Man United let me down this weekend, and
I was so confused then.
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be sitting here next week and Man United have bounced back. Yeah. Peace out, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers
Bye,
for
guys.
coming. See ya.